Hafe Guam and everyone watching. We are following some developing story here in the village of Mangilao, where for at least the past 30-45 minutes you might have seen the plume of smoke that has been billowing into the air and going over areas from Route 10 over towards the Totomaiti area. And so we've been tracking this fire for you, following the smoke as it's been spreading out through the central part of the island. And we were able to track it down towards behind Eagles Field in Mangilao and make the trek from behind Eagles Field here in Mangilao to find where the source of this fire is. We saw the Guam Fire Department try and make their way to the fire, as well as forestry officials. And right now we're hearing that this is a large grass fire, possibly a farm area with heavy overgrown vegetation. I'm going to turn the camera around. We're going to keep a distance a ways back just for our safety, but you can see some of that smoke still going up into the air, some of the ash as well. Again, this is in the Mangilao area, just behind Eagles Field. I'm going to give you a vantage point of, if you could recognize the area, you'll see, you may notice some landmarks, but it's still a very an area with heavy vegetation. You can see the smoke. Earlier we saw Guam Fire Department try and make their way through this to here, as well as the forestry officials, but they said that right now they're working to get their trucks to this location. So we're keeping a distance as well, away back from where this is all going down. But wanted to give you a look at what we're following and what's developing right here. You see the smoke coming out from what we're told from forestry officials is a large, or we're not sure of just how widespread it is at this point, but it's a grass fire. Could be mixed with grass fire and farmland in the village of Mangilao, just behind the Eagles Field area, just off Route 15. But you can hear the noise, the crackling coming from the fire. Although we can't see flames at this time, again, you see just the overgrown vegetation here. At this point, there's no word of any danger to the surrounding homes, but right now where we are, I could tell you it took us a good 15-20 minutes, maybe a little bit more, for my photographer and I to trek and hike from our car parked just behind the Eagles Field area to get back here and show you exactly where the site of this fire, this grass fire, is located. Again, this is in Mangilao, the area just behind Eagles Field. This all happening just within the past hour. You see the smoke, and many of you may be seeing smoke billowing up into the air from Mangilao, Delgado, all the way on towards Totomaiti. We even saw smoke as we were trying to track down the side of this fire over just blocking some of the areas of the road where some information just coming to us from the Guam Fire Department that Guam Fire and forestry fire crews are currently trying to access this large grass fire. They said it's in the Delgado area. Again, we were able to get access from our vantage point where you're seeing it from Eagles Field in Mangilao. That's just a back road, the back road here. And right now it doesn't appear that it's a threat to anyone living around the area. It just looks like a large vegetation area, sword grass. But again, this grass fire, this large grass fire that the Guam Fire Department and forestry officials are working to get to, saying that, you know, they're responding to this at this time. And we're actually going to try and move further back to maybe a safer area, but I just wanted to give you a look. Okay. So yeah, it's moving pretty quickly. So my photographer and I, we're going to work to get out of here safely so that we can bring you whatever develops from this fire. Again, the Guam Fire Department confirming just minutes ago that their department, their firefighters, along with the forestry officials are responding to a large grass fire here. You'll see some of that smoke here, right here behind me. And this all happening just within the last hour. We got access to where we are in this very overgrown vegetation area just by driving on the back road in Mangilao to get to behind where Eagles Field is. Taking that road, unfortunately we saw it was very polluted going through that road to get here, but then we had to trek at least 20-25 minutes walk through all the swordgrass, through the trails to get to all that smoky area there. That's where that fire is coming from, the large grass fire that the Guam Fire Department confirms that they are working to access before they can start to put it out. And as you may recall, it was just yesterday the firefighters spent most of the day since 11 o'clock in the morning yesterday battling a fire over at near Tarzan Falls. That situation was a scary one for some hikers who were believed to have been stranded in all that, but were able to get out safely. And so I'm turning just to give you an idea of where we are. If you notice the landmarks, this is in the village of Mangilao. You see all the overgrown vegetation and the plumes of smoke coming up from this large grass fire just billowing into the air. And this is what the site and the source of all that smoke that you may be seeing if you're in the Delgado area. Other people who were further north could see the smoke as well, telling us that they believe it was coming from the airport. Well, this is just to confirm that that's not the location. The location is this overgrown vegetation area behind Eaglesville. Guam Fire Department confirming that this specific location is Delgado. And so they're working with forestry officials to gain access. First off, we moved a bit further back from where we were earlier just for our safety. But earlier when we did run into some of the GFD and forestry officials, they were telling us that it's difficult for them to gain access with their trucks to extinguish and put out the flames. We're not able to see any of the actual flames from the fire. Well, if you look closely, you may be able to. Let me see if I could zoom in here to give you a closer look, because I'm able to see some of the flames coming from that darker, the darker smoke coming from this large grass fire here. And since coming closer to the scene of this fire, we could hear the crackling, and like I said, it took my photographer and I at least 20-25 minutes to walk closer to the site of where you're looking at right now. At this point, the Guam Fire Department not saying that there's any threat to anyone else. You may have noticed again the smoke plumes up in the air over from Delgado, Mangilao area, as well as Maiti, but the Guam Fire Department confirming again that this large grass fire is pretty much here in this Delgado area, but not saying that there's a threat to anyone in the community at this time. And right now they're working to gain access to put it out. So while you see much of the darker smoke in this side of this grassy area, if you look towards the right, we're seeing more plumes of smoke coming up to the right of that. And even hearing some of that crackling from the fire from here as well. Jake, if you look further down here, you can see the flames coming from. At this point, we're still waiting to confirm whether firefighters were able to gain access. I know they were talking about using bikes, right? Or
mules, quads.
Using their quads that they have on their fleet to get closer and start to douse those flames as soon as possible. So again, if you're just joining us, Nick Delgado here with the KUAM News team with my photographer Jacob Sablon, who for the past half hour has been tracking this that plume of smoke that many of you might have been seeing canvassing over the Mangilao, Delgado, and Mongmongtoto Maiti areas just in the last hour. We did drive quite a ways, making a lot of turns through different roads and back roads to find where the source of this fire was coming from, and coincidentally we took back road in Mangilao towards Eagles Field, and it's at that area behind Eagles Field that we took a road that led us to this location where we are right now. If you can notice some of the landmarks here, right here behind me, and it's right here where we walked at least 20-25 minutes to get to the site of where this fire is coming from. Earlier we saw the Guam Fire Department's spokesperson Kevin Riley, who says that just in the last 10 minutes confirmed that they are working to gain access to battle this large grass fire here in Delgado. At this point, they haven't said whether it poses any threat to the community, but understandably, many of you that have been driving through the central part of the island might have noticed the smoke billowing into the air. I even saw some of that smoke covering a portion of Route 10 near the Wendy's Delgado. So that's why it took us some time to get to the location of this fire. Earlier we were even closer towards the fire, but my photographer and I noticed that the flames were quickly moving, were fast moving, and so we did move further back safety. But again, I'm going to give you another look, at least from our vantage point at present time, of this large grass fire that the Guam Fire Department and forestry officials are working to get to. At this point we can't see much because of all the overgrown vegetation, but it appears from the smoke that we were looking at earlier in this area that it looks to have settled. We're waiting to get more information from the fire department, however, to see whether they were able to gain access from another site, from another entryway. We, of course, will continue to follow this as we get more information from the Guam Fire Department. Again, in the last hour, Guam Fire Department responding to a large grass fire in Delgado. We gained access to it from the Mangilao area behind Eagles Field, just off Route 15, the back road. And we will bring you more on this story as we get more information tonight on KUAM News Primetime. Follow us here on KUAM's mobile news apps on all our social media pages, and as well as on KUAM.com. For now, for Guam's News Network, Nick Delgado.